This again is why I like the Hill Evolution table for me. It was much easier to set the patient up, and it had some extra features that were really good for me in selling me and my staff that it was the easiest way to do it. First of all, the upper straps with the rubber lining on the inside make it so that the upper strap doesn't slide, because sometimes that would slide on patients, slide down below the ribs or up above the ribs. It was difficult to keep that in place, so that was one of the big things with this particular harness. It was much better. The flexi straps down here on the bottom, which encapsulate that ilium so well, we had a problem on most tables where you can't use the strapping things and the belts. It's very difficult for large people. I'm not a small guy, and on this one, my flexi straps on this table can extend out and in and come out more and spread out to encapsulate that ilium. So these can go back and forth, which is something I didn't see on a lot of other tables, so I really like that. So again, that pelvis, when it's tilted, is really encapsulated by these flexi straps. And they're rubber coated too, so they don't slide either. I also like the idea of the table having the stool, the ability to use a stool. I do use people with bolsters, but I like the stool sometimes because I can take pressure off of the disc by raising and lowering the stool. Now, John was kind of a tall guy, and we could have extended this more and brought the stool up higher and made it so his legs were more at a 90-degree angle with his calves parallel, which would have taken a lot of pressure off of that low back. That would have been an excellent thing for him. I also like the ability of the table to go up and down. For my staff, you know, we had it set pretty high for John to get up on because we wanted to show you with examination how we did it, and so you could see real well. But to get down, to take the patient down and let them get off a table is one thing, but it's also good for your staff because it allows the staff, who I have a girl track person doing mine, Maria, who went to Eastern Michigan, and Maria is only about 5'2", and so for her, she needs it down here so she can get the angle to make the straps tight. So the nice lowness of this table is another fabulous characteristic of this table. Again, it's going to be a protocol situation that's going to mess you up. You must have flexibility in the protocols and the programs that you can set them up on, so you can both, one, set the right program at first, but if it's not right, you can change it. It can change on the fly, which is a good thing, and the way the table sets up is spectacular. But probably the thing that is different than everything else that I found with this particular table is the actuators that are in the motor that actually do the decompression traction. They react in milliseconds to reaction. John was on the table when we were warming up and we were doing our little rehearsals how we were going to do it, and John said it reacted to when I laughed. And that's exactly the way this table works. On the other tables, there was no reaction. It was a pull against the spring of the table, and whatever the resistance felt, it was not that finite that it actually was that good and a smooth, even pull. I know that when I do 20 minutes of pull on this table, that the pulls are all the same, and it's the same amount of pressure and pull time in the rest and in the hold phase. So that's the part I really like this too. So, having said all that, I love the table, and it's a great table for our practice, and I know that the thought and energy that Howard Hill put into this table to make it the best table out there. I know that for me, I think it's reasonably priced based on the other ones. The quality is spectacular. The company is a spectacular company, and they stand by their product. You can get service on this, which sometimes is hard to do on the other ones, and I just love this table. This is one of the best things I ever bought for my office, and there has not been anything in my practice that I ever bought for my practice that referred patients. And this thing, once people are on this thing, they refer patients constantly.